My name's Tom. Around 15 years ago, I would meet up with my friends and we'd fly almost every weekend. We had a lot of fun. Just meeting up in empty fields. I kind of got out of the hobby when I had a couple of kids. Now my kids are years old and I decided to get back into it. But the rules have changed. I owned many multi-rotors and of them all, this became my favorite. I was inspired when I was walking through a hardware store and saw this piece of poplar wood. Poplar Beach in Half Moon Bay was one of my favorite places to go ever. When I saw a piece of poplar wood, I bought it, and I eventually made a drone out of it. Q-Brain motor controller. It's actually kind of cheap. It's not a super high-end piece of equipment. I bought that at least 10 years ago. It's probably no longer available. I ordered most of my parts through Hobby King at the time. This one's running a KK2 controller board. And then I have a video transmitter with a Fat Shark antenna and an orange RC receiver, 7-channel. I'm running an old DX7 radio, 12-inch props. As I started getting back into the hobby, like I said, I found out the rules have changed. If you're flying anything that weighs more than half a pound, you're required to have a transmitter. Also, if you plan to make a buck off of any of your aircraft, you're required to have Part 107 license. I went out and took the test, spent $170, got my Part 107, and I'd like to get this back into compliance. Before I knew all the rules, I flew this a couple times recently, and it didn't fly super stable. It would give me the wobbles in the air like that. Turns out this motor mount is loose. It's not true. Yeah, it's crashed a few times. I replaced this piece of wood with an aluminum bar, which is bent. So in this video, I'm gonna try to repair it, add a transmitter, fly it again, and have some fun with it. I have it wired for a GoPro Hero 3 or 4, which I have a mount for here. When it lands, it just lands on these 4 bolts. It works well. I had a lot of fun with this. Oh, I also added 2 lights to it, a red and a green light, so I could use all 7 channels of my transmitter. Compared to the wood, this is significantly heavier. I am downgrading the performance of this aircraft, but improving the crashability. Now that I have my motors mounted, it's time to set the direction of the motors and to install the props. I'll start by removing all the props. I want my front tube to turn this way. This one's turning backwards. So on a 3-lead brushless DC motor, swapping any of the 2 leads reverses direction of the motor. I want this one to spin the same as that one. It's also wrong. I've had to swap every motor lead. Got them all spinning in the right direction. Now we can put the props on. I like to put the red props in the front, black in the back, so when it's way up in the air and far away, I know that it's facing forwards when the red is in the front. Now without flying it, we're just going to test. Well, the controls work as expected. Fantastic. Now all I need is a remote ID module and I can legally fly it. I've ordered the flight test drone ID module. Okay. Here it is. Alright, hopefully it's awesome. Let's get it mounted up. I've been trying to figure out how to mount this flight test module. I had some standoffs, but everywhere I go, if I put it through that hole, I don't have clearance for a nut. Can't really go this way either. I could sort of force that. Yeah, I guess I could force a couple of them there. But over here, it gets more critical. That would be the industrial Bluetooth antenna I can get a standoff right there, just barely. Man, but if that twists, it would fracture that antenna. If I put zip ties across it, there's like small components that can get damaged pretty much everywhere, except for this one clean spot where the flight test logo is. There's no components here. I know that they sell like a 3D printed case that this can go in. The website I bought it off of didn't offer that, or I didn't see it. So this is what I got. So since it's going on this aircraft, what I've decided to do is put it across here like that, upside down, and use a zip tie to hold it exactly like that. I'm thinking it'll be okay. Let's give it a go. Pretty solid. Maybe I'll eventually get the case. For now, because I want it to fly, that should do it. It's on there good. Alright, let's fire it up. I got my wiring all figured out. Now I'm soldering it together. I'm adding an audio output from the Hero Cam here. Not that the audio will be usable. For one, the audio from a GoPro is pretty low quality in the first place. For two, there's all kinds of noise from the props. But for what it is, I'll have audio. Guess I should plug it in and see what happens. Well, I see my flight test has turned red. Allegedly, when it acquires enough satellites, it'll turn green, I believe. And I still need to register this whole drone with everything powers up. Let's see if I can receive signals. Oh, well, we have video. We have video coming from the GoPro. The flight test module is still showing all red. I'm in a steel building. Perhaps if I step outside, I better try it. See the sky. Okay, once I got away from the steel structures, my flight test module lit up green. Now it should just be a matter of registering the drone. Well, I'm stoked that everything works. Oh, and we gotta find out if the audio works for the Hero. Got my remote ID module installed. I set up a flight plan to fly in this area during this hour. Oh, I should be able to legally fly this drone. Let's get it up in the air, see how it goes. I'll go up and down the street. Okay. Flip the camera around. Ooh, terrible. That didn't go so well. We got a broken drone. Oh, man. Crash aftermath report. Well, we lost 4 propellers. We lost 1 motor. The video transmitter no longer works correctly. We definitely lost the we lost one of the lights, but it's actually repairable. Just one solder connection. If I touch it down, it'll still light up, so I can resolder that. We the GoPro survived. We just broke the mount. Not a problem. But the biggest bummer of all is the good old flight test flight location transmitter. This is broken beyond repair. I never found the large square package chip. I didn't find the battery holder is broken. Even if I found those and soldered them back together, we got a little bit of delamination. The board actually impacted the ground. And then the video transmitter, same thing. It impacted the ground. It still turns on, and sometimes I can get a blurry image. It works, but just barely. Maybe I could take it apart and fix it. Not sure, but we're calling it broken. So that was an epic crash. That was a big failure. The motor that locked up, yeah, I basically bent the shaft on this motor, so it's no good at all. The other 3 motors are good. So I guess the obvious thing to do would be to reconfigure this craft and make a tri-motor. To do that, I'll need to add a servo here, because the rear motor on a tri-motor needs to be able to rotate left and right to control the yaw. Alright, so that's what's happening in my next video. Thanks for watching. So it's been about a year, and I really haven't touched it. I kind of lost my motivation. I've been going out and flying my DJI Mini 4 Pro most weekends. So I am pretty much officially giving up on Poplar, my old fave. But you know, at least I got to use all my old bits and pieces and parts and equipment, and it went out in a crash of glory. Next, I'm gonna get into FPV. I'm gonna build a little, maybe I'll rebuild one of these, but I'll throw some modern components in. I'll purchase all the parts for a new stack. I'll register it. I'll put a nice little camera on it. I don't know if I want to mess with this old DJI flight controller. This thing, God, it's like 18 years old, but the airframe's like quality, and I got a couple of these. So maybe that'll be my next video. I really haven't put a ton of effort into this channel, so I'm just finishing this project. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.